Xiang Yu sent envoys to request instructions from King Huai of Chu. King Huai said, act in accordance with the agreement. Thus, Xiang Yu honored King Huai as emperor. Eager to proclaim himself king, Xiang Yu first enfeoffed the generals and ministers. When the people of the world first rose up, we temporarily installed the descendants of the former feudal lords as kings to attack Qin. However, it is we all you generals, ministers, and I who have personally worn armor, wielded weapons, taken the lead in the uprising, endured hardships and exposure to the elements for 3 years, destroyed Qin, and pacified the world. Emperor Yi alone has no merits, so we should divide his lands and then pay off you all as king. All the generals replied, very well. Xiang Yu then partitioned the realm and then fed the generals as kings and marquises. Xiang Yu and Fan Zhang suspected that Liu Bang Lord Pei harbored ambitions to seize the whole world, but they had already reconciled with him. Unwilling to violate the prior agreement, yet fearing the other feudal lords might betray him, they secretly discussed. Ba and Shu are surrounded by dangerous roads, and all the exiles banished by Qin reside in Shu. They then declared, Ba and Shu are also part of Guangzhou. Therefore, Xiang Yu enfeoffed Liu Bang as king of Han, ruling over the 3 commander IES of Ba, Shu, and Hanzong, with his capital at Nanzhou. He divided Guangzhou into 3 parts, and then enfeoffed. Qin surrendered generals there to block the king of Han. Xiang Yu enfeoffed Zheng Han as king of Yang, ruling over the area west of Ziying with his capital at Fiqiu. Sima's Inn, the chief clerk, had previously served as the prison officer of Yuan and once showed kindness to Xiang Liang. The commandant was the first to persuade Zheng Han to surrender to Qin. Xiang Yu enfeoffed Sima Xin as king of Sai, ruling over the region east of Xianyang to the Yellow River, with his capital at Yuing, and Dong Yi as king of Di, ruling over Shan Commandery, with his capital at Daonu. He renamed Wei Bao as king of Western Wei, ruling over Hedong, with his capital at Pingyang. Shen Hangyang, a native of Xiaqu, Yu and the favorite of Zheng'er, was the first to capture Henan and welcome the Chu army at the Yellow River. So Xiang Yu enfeoffed him as king of Henan, with his capital at Luoren. Han Chen established his state in the former Han capital, with his capital at Yangshan. Sima Ang, a general of Shao, pacified He and Ian, achieved numerous military exploits, so he was enfeoffed as king of Yin, ruling over He and I, with his capital at Chaoji. Xiang Yu renamed Zhaozi as king of Da. Zheng'er, the prime minister of Shao, had long been known for his virtue and had followed Xiang Yu into Guangzhou, so he was enfeoffed as king of Chengshen, ruling over Shao with his capital at Xiangjiyu. King Bu Lord Dangyang served as a general of Chu and was always the bravest in the army, so he was enfeoffed as king of Gujiang with his capital at Liu Count. Wu Rui, Lord of Po, led the Bau tribes to assist the feudal lords and also follow Xiang Yu into Guangzhou, so he was enfeoffed as king of Henshan with his capital at Ju Count. Fang Ao, Emperor Yi Shengzhu Guo, led troops to attack Nan Commandery and achieved many military merits, so he was enfeoffed as king of Linzhong with his capital at Jiangling. Xiang Yu renamed Hongguang as king of Liao. A general of Yan had followed the Chu army to rescue Zhaoan, thus accompanied Xiang Yu into Guangzhou, so he was enfeoffed as king of Yan, with his capital at Ji County. He renamed Tian Shi as king of Zhaoidang. A general of Qi had followed the Chu army to rescue Zhaoan, thus accompanied Xiang Yu into Guangzhou, so he was enfeoffed as king of Qi, with his capital at Linzi. Tian An, the grandson of Tian Jian, the last king of Qi, who was destroyed by Qin, captured several cities north of the Ji River when Xiang Yu crossed the river to rescue Zhao and led his troops to surrender to Xiang Yu, so he was enfeoffed as king of Zhaibai with his capital at Boyang. Tian Rong, who had repeatedly failed Xiang Liang and refused to lead troops to follow the Chu army in attacking Qin, was not enfeoffed. Chen Yan had abandoned his general seal and left, failing to follow Xiang Yu into Guangzhou. However, Xiang Yu had long heard of his virtue and his merits to Zhao. Learning that he was in Nanpai, he granted him the 3 counties around Nanpai as a fee. Meishuan, a general of Lord Po, had achieved numerous military exploits, so he was enfeoffed as a marquis with 10,000 households. Xiang Yu proclaimed himself overlord of Western Chu, ruling over 9 commander IES, with his capital at Penkian. The first year of the Han Dynasty 206 BCE, the feudal lords withdrew from Xia1 and returned to their respective fiefs. Xiang Yu also exited the passes and returned to his own fief. He sent men to relocate Emperor Yi, saying, ancient emperors ruled over 1,000 li of land and must reside upstream. He then dispatched envoys to move Emperor Yi to Chen County in Changsha Commandery. Xiang Yu pressed Emperor Yi to depart immediately, and as the ministers gradually began to harbor thoughts of betrayal, he secretly ordered the king of Hengshan and the king of Linjiang to kill Emperor Yi on the Yangtze River. Having no military achievements, was forbidden by Xiang Yu to return to his fief. Xiang Yu took him to Pengtian, demoted him to a marquis, and soon had him killed. Zhang Chu returned to his fief and took the opportunity to expel Han Guang to Liaodong. When Han Guang refused to submit, Zhang Tu killed him at Wuzhong and annexed his territory. Learning that Xiang Yu had renamed Tianxi, the king of Qi, as king of Zhaoidong and appointed Tiandu, a Qi general, as the new king of Qi. Unwilling to let Yan Shi go to Zhaoidong, Tianrong rebelled in Qi and confronted Tiandu in battle. Yang Du fled to Chu. Fearful of Xiang Yu, Tianxi escaped to his fief in Zhaoidong. Enraged, Tianrong sent troops in pursuit and killed him at Zhima. Tong claimed himself king of Qi, marched west to kill Yan'an, the king of Zhaibai, and annexed the three Qi territories, Qi, Zhaoidong, and Zhaibai. He granted a general's seal to Pan Yu, ordering him to rebel in Liang territory. Chen Yu secretly sent Shang Tong and Zhao Yu to persuade Tianrong. Xiang Yu is the ruler of the world, but his enfeoffment of the lords is highly unfair. He has enfeoffed the former kings of the 6 states to poor lands, while granting his own ministers and generals the fertile regions, even expelling their original lords. The king of Xiang now resides in the northern Commandery. I believe this is unacceptable. I hear your majesty has raised an army and refuses to obey unjust orders. I beg your majesty to send me troops, so that I may attack Changshan, restore the king of Xiao to his throne, and offer Xiao as a barrier for Qi. Chenrong agreed and dispatched troops to Xiao accordingly. Chen Yu mobilized all soldiers from the 3 counties under his fief, joined forces with the Qi army to attack Changshan, and routed the Changshan army. Xiang'er fled to seek refuge with the king of Hongyu Bei. Chen Yu went to Dai Commandery to welcome back the former king of Xiao, Xiaozi, and restored him to the throne of Xiao. In return, Xiaozi enfeoffed Chen Yu as king of Dai. At this time, the king of Han turned his army back and pacified the 3 Qin territories, the former Guangzhou region, divided among Shanghan, Sima Zin, and Dongyi. Xiang Yu was furious when he learned that the king of Han had annexed all of Guangzhou and was about to march east, while Qian Shao had also rebelled against him. He therefore enfeoffed Zheng Chen, the former magistrate of Wu County, as king of Han to block the Han army, and ordered Zhao Gong Zhao Yan and others to attack Penyu. Penyu defeated Zhao Gong Zhao Yan and his men. The king of Han sent Xiang Liang to conquer the Han territory. Xiang Liang wrote to Xiang Yu, stating, the king of Han was deprived of his rightful title. He only wishes to reclaim Guangzhou and will halt his advance. Once the original agreement is fulfilled, he dares not march eastward. Xiang Liang also sent Xiang Yu the documents of rebellion from Tianlian, saying, he intends to ally with Xiao to destroy Chu. For this reason, the Chu army abandoned any plan to march west and instead attacked Qi in the north. Xiang Yu demanded troops from King Biyu, the king of Gujia. King Biyu claimed Dilnasant refused to go in person, sending only a general with several thousand men instead. Xiang Yu thus began to harbor resentment toward King Biyu. In the winter of the 2nd year of the Han Dynasty 205 BCE, Xiang Yu marched north to Xihenzhang, where Qinrong also led his army to engage him in battle. Yanrong was defeated and fled to Pingyuan, where the locals killed him. Xiang Yu then marched north, burning down Qi's city walls and houses, burying all of Tianrong's surrendered soldiers alive, and capturing Qi's elderly, weak, and women. As his army plundered from Qi to the Baihai Commandery, most places along the way were devastated. The people of Qi gathered to rebel against him. Tianrong's younger brother rallied tens of thousands of fleeing Qi soldiers and rebelled at Xihenzhang. Xiang Yu remained there to suppress the rebellion but failed to capture the city after repeated battles. The king of Han dispatched an army of 560,000 soldiers from 5 eyed feudal lords to march east and attack Chu. Upon hearing this, Xiang Yu immediately ordered his generals to continue attacking Qi, while he himself led 30,000 elite soldiers south, crossing Hulu from Lu County. The Han army had fully occupied Pengtian, seizing Xiang Yu's treasures and abducting his concubines, and feasted and drank lavishly every day. Xiang Yu marched west through Shao County, attacked the Han army at dawn, and advanced eastward to Pengtian. By noon, he had routed the Han army. The Han soldiers fled in disarray, scrambling into the Guan Sea rivers, and over 100,000 Han soldiers were killed by the Chu army. The remaining Han soldiers fled south into the mountains, but the Chu army pursued them to the Sui River east of Linbai. Pressed by the Chu army, the retreating Han soldiers suffered heavy casualties. Over 100,000 fell into the Sui River, blocking its flow entirely. The Chu army surrounded the king of Han in 3 concentric circles. A strong gale blew from the northwest, snapping trees, toppling houses, and swirling ups and in stones. The daytime turned as dark as dusk, and the gale swept toward the Chu army. the Chu ranks were thrown into chaos and disarray, allowing the king of Han to escape with several dozen cavalrymen. The king of Han intended to pass through Pei County to take his family westward, but the Chu army also sent men to Pei to capture his relative. His family had already fled and did not meet. He encountered Emperor Xiao Huai and Princess Lu Yuan, and took them into his carriage. When the Chu cavalry closed in, the king of Han, in panic, pushed the two children out of the carriage. Tengangsha Huying, however, repeatedly stopped the carriage to pick them up again. Though the situation is urgent, we cannot make the carriage go faster. By abandoning them, how can we leave them behind? Tengangze, the king of Han, finally managed to escape. He searched for Lord Tai, his father Liu Taigong, and Emperor Cao, but could not find them. Who was traveling with Lord Tai and Emperor Cao by back roads to find the king of Han, accidentally encountered the Chu army instead. The Chu soldiers took them back and reported to Xiang Yu, who detained them in the army henceforth. Emperor Cao's elder brother and the Han general was stationed at Xia. The king of Han took back roads to L's camp and gradually rallied his scattered troops. Upon reaching Xinyan, all the defeated Han forces regrouped there. He also conscripted all the elderly, weak, and those not previously registered for military service in Guanzhong and sent them to Xinyan, revitalizing the Han army's morale, which had set out from Pengtian, pursued the retreating Han forces relentlessly and engaged the Han army between the towns of Jing and Desuo south of Xinyan. The Han army defeated the Chu army, which was thus unable to advance westward beyond Xinyan. When Xiang Yu went to relieve Pengtian and pursued the king of Han to Xinyan, Tianheng took the opportunity to recapture Tian and establish Tianguan, Tianrong's son, as king of Qi. After the Han defeat at Pengtian, the feudal lords once again defected to Chu and abandoned Han. The Han army was stationed at Xinyan and built supply routes connecting to the Yellow River to transport grain from Xiaxiang, a major king granary. In the third year of the Han Dynasty 204 BCE, Xiang Yu repeatedly raided the Han army's supply routes to seize grain. Short of provisions and fearing defeat, Liu Bang, the king of Han, requested a truce, offering to cede all in west of Xinyan to Han. Xiang Yu was inclined to agree, but Fan Zheng, the Marquis of Liang, objected. The Han army is now easy to subdue. If we abandon this chance to conquer them, we will surely regret it later. Thus, Xiang Yu and Fan Zheng launched a fierce attack on Xinyan. Anxious, the king of Han adopted Chen Ping's scheme to sow discord between Xiang Yu and his ministers. When Xiang Yu's envoys arrived, the Han side prepared a sumptuous feast and was about to serve it. But upon seeing the envoys, the server feigned surprise and said, "I thought you were envoys of Yafu and Zhang, but you are Lord Xiang's envoys." He then withdrew the feast and replaced it with shoddy food. The envoys reported this to Xiang Yu, who consequently suspected Fan Zheng of colluding privately with the Han army and gradually stripped him of his authority. Fan Zheng, furious, said, "The overall situation of the world has been decided. Please take care of yourself, Your Majesty. I beg permission to retire to my hometown." Xiang Yu agreed. Before Fan Zheng reached Pengtian, he died from a toxic boil on his back. Jizin, a Han general, advised the king of Han, "The situation is extremely critical. Let me disguise myself as your highness to deceive the Chu army, while you seize the opportunity to escape." That night the king of Han sent 2,000 armored women out of Xinyan's east gate. The Chu army besieged them from all sides. Jizin rode a carriage with a yellow canopy, a feather ornament on the left horse's head, and declared, "The city has run out of grain. The king of Han surrender." The Chu soldiers all cheered long live. Meanwhile, the king of Han escaped through the west gate with several dozen cavalrymen and fled to Qingdao. When Xiang Yu saw Jizin, he asked, "Where is the king of Han?" Jizin replied, "He has already left the city." Xiang Yu had Jizin burned alive. The king of Han sent imperial censor Shu Kai's Zonggong and Wei Bao to defend Xinyan. Shu Kai's Zonggong discussed privately, "Wei Bao is the king of a rebellious state. We cannot hold the city with him." They then killed Wei Bao together. The Chu army captured Xinyan, took Shu Kai prisoner. Xiang Yu said to Shu Kai, "Serve as my general, and I will appoint you as grand general with a fief of 30,000 households." Shu Kai cursed, "Surrender to the king of Han immediately. He will capture you soon. You are no match for him." Enraged, Xiang Yu had Shu Kai boiled alive and killed Zonggong as well. After escaping Xinyan, the king of Han traveled south through Wan and Yi counties, persuaded King Biyu, the king of Gujiang, to surrender, rallied scattered soldiers along the way, and reoccupied Qingdao to defend it. In the fourth year of the Han Dynasty 203 BCE, Xiang Yu marched his army to besiege Qingdao. The king of Han fled, escaping alone with Tengangsha Huying through Qingdao's north gate, crossing the Yellow River to Wu, and arriving at the camps of Shanru and Hanzin. His generals escaped Qingdao one after another to rejoin him. The Chu army finally captured Chengao and prepared to march west, but the king of Han sent troops to resist at Gong County, blocking their advance. Pan Yu crossed the Yellow River to attack the Chu army at Yicheng and killed the Chu general Zhuge. Xiang Yu then personally led his army east to attack Pan Yu. The king of Han, having taken command of Han Xin's troops Han's in held the title of Marquis of Huai, planned to cross the Yellow River south. Sengzong persuaded him to abandon the plan, so he remained in Hien built fortification. He sent Liu Jia with troops to assist Pan Yu in burning the Chu army stockpile. Xiang Yu defeated the Han army in the east, forcing Pan Yu to flee. The king of Han then crossed the Yellow River, recaptured Chengao, stationed his army at Guangwu, and supplied his troops with grain from AOC and Renri. After Xiang Yu pacified the Eastern Sea region, he marched west and encamped at Guangwu, where the two armies faced off for several months. By this time, Pan Yu had repeatedly attacked the Chu army in Liang territory and cut off their grain supply routes, which worried Xiang Yu greatly. He set up a tall wooden tray, placed Liu Aigang, the king of Han's father, on it, and threatened the king of Han, "Surrender immediately, or I will boil your father alive." The king of Han replied, "You and I both swore allegiance to King Huai, vowing to be brothers. My father is your father if you must boil your own father. Please share a bowl of the broth with me." Furious, Xiang Yu intended to Hu Taigong, but Xiang Bo advised, "The outcome of the world is still uncertain. Moreover, those who strive for the throne do not care about their family. Killing him will bring no benefit, only more trouble." Xiang Yu heeded his advice. The Chu and Han armies had been stalemated for a long time, with able-bodied men exhausted by battle and the elderly and weak worn out by transporting supplies. Xiang Yu said to the king of Han, "The world has been in chaos for years because of us too. I challenge you to a duel to decide the outcome. Let us stop making the people suffer for nothing." The king of Han declined with a laugh, "I would rather compete in wisdom than in strength." Xiang Yu ordered his brave warriors to issue challenge. The Han army had a skilled horse archer named Lu Fan, who shot and killed 3 Chu challengers in succession. Enraged, Xiang Yu put on his armor, grabbed his halberd, and went out to challenge personally. When Lu Fan tried to shoot him, Xiang Yu glared and shouted loudly. Lu Fan dared not meet his gaze or release his arrow. He fled back to the Han camp and did not dare emerge. The king of Han sent someone to investigate secretly and learned the challenger was Xiang Yu. He was greatly shocked. Xiang Yu then approached the Han camp and spoke to the king of Han across the Guangwu Gorge. When the king of Han listed Xiang Yu's crimes, Xiang Yu flew into a rage and demanded a duel. The king of Han refused, so hidden crossbowmen in the Chu army shot and wounded him. The king of Han fled back to Chengao. Xiang Yu heard that Han Xin had conquered the Hidi region, defeated the armies of Qin Xiao, and planned to attack the Chu. He sent Long Zhu to engage Han Xin. Han Xin fought Long Zhu, and Guan Ying, the cavalry general, attacked Long Zhu's forces, routing the Chu army and killing Long Zhu. Taking advantage of this victory, Han Xin proclaimed himself king of Qin. When Xiang Yu learned of Long Zhu's defeat, he grew fearful and sent Wuxi from Suzhou to persuade Han Xin to switch allegiance, but Han Xin refused. Meanwhile, Pan Yu rebelled against the Chu army again, capturing Liang territory and cutting off their grain supply. Xiang Yu said to Hai Chun Hu Kuaiji Yu, the Grand Marshal, and others, "Defend Chengao carefully. Even if the Han army challenges you, never engage them, just prevent them from advancing east. Pacify Liang territory, and return to join you within 15 days. He then marched east, attacking Cheng Yu and Wai Huang along the way. Wai Huang initially resisted After several days, it finally surrendered. But Xiang Yu was furious. He ordered all men over 15 to gather east of the city, intending to bury them alive. The 13-year-old son of a retainer of Wai Huang's magistrate went to persuade Xiang Yu. Pan Yu forced Wai Huang to rebel with military threats. The people were terrified, so they surrendered to him temporarily, waiting for your majesty's arrival. Now that you are here, you want to bury them all alive. How can you expect the people to submit to you? To the east, over a dozen cities in Liang territory will be terrified and never surrender again." Xiang Yu thought his words made sense and spared those marked for execution. When the Chu army marched east to Suqian, the people there, having heard the news, rushed to surrender. As expected, the Han army repeatedly challenged the Chu army, which refused to engage. The Han soldiers insulted the Chu army from the front lines for 5 or 6 consecutive days. The Grand Marshal Kuaiji Yu was enraged and ordered his troops to cross the Sea River. Just as the soldiers were halfway across, the Han army launched an attack, routed the Chu army, and seized all their supplies. Kuaiji Yu and Sima Zin, the chief clerk, both committed suicide by the Sea River. Kuaiji Yu had once served as a prison officer in Qi County, and Sima Zin as a prison clerk in Yuying. Both had shown kindness to Xiang Liang, so Xiang Yu trusted them. At this time, Xiang Yu was in Suqian. Upon hearing of Cao Jiayu's defeat, he led his army back. The Han army was besieging Zhang Limo and Xiang Yan, but when Xiang Yu arrived, the Han soldiers, fearing the Chu army, withdrew to fortified position. By now the Han army had abundant troops and grain, while the Chu army was exhausted and short of provisions. The king of Han sent Lu Jie to persuade Xiang Yu to release Liu Taigong, but Xiang Yu refused. He then sent Lord Hu to negotiate, and Xiang Yu agreed to a pact with the king of Han to split the empire. Land west of the Hongjiou River would belong to Han, and land east to Qin. Xiang Yu fulfilled the agreement immediately, returning the king of Han's parents, wife, and children. The Han army cheered long live. The king of Han then enfeoffed Lord Hu as lord of peaceful states, but had him go into hiding and refused to meet him again, saying, "This man is the most eloquent debater in the world. Any state he visits will be overthrown, hence his title." Having concluded the pact, Xiang Yu led his army eastward to retreat. The king of Han intended to withdraw westward, but Xiang Liang and Chen Ping persuaded him. Han now holds more than half of the empire, and all the feudal lords have submitted to us. The Chu army is exhausted and short of grain. This is heaven's opportunity to destroy Chu. We should seize this chance to eliminate Chu once and for all. To let the enemy escape without attacking now is what people call nurturing a tiger to invite calamity. The king of Han heeded their advice. He sent envoys to inform Han's and Peng Yu, "Let us join forces to attack the Chu army. After defeating Chu, the land from Chen County east to the sea shall be enfeoffed to the king of Han's Inn, and the land from north of Suiyang to Guchen shall be granted to Prime Minister Peng Yu." As soon as the envoys arrived, Han Xin and Peng Yu both replied, "We request permission to march immediately." Han Xin then set out from Qi, and Liu Jie's army marched from Shuchun to join him. He sacked Chengfu and advanced to Gush. Cao Yin, the Grand Marshal, rebelled against Chu, led soldiers from Shu County to sack Liu County, mobilized troops from Gujiang, and joined Liu Jie and Peng Yu at Gaixia, forming a line before Xiang Yu's camp. Xiang Yu's army built fortifications at Gaixia, with few soldiers and no grain left. The Han army and the feudal lords' forces surrounded them in layers. That night Xiang Yu heard the Han soldiers all around singing songs of Chu. He was greatly astonished and said, "Has Han already occupied the entire Chu? Why are there so many Chu people here?" He rose in the night and went to his tent to drink. There was a beauty named Yuji, who accompanied him on campaigns because of his favor, and a fine steed named Huai, which he often rode into battle. Overcome with emotion, Xiang Yu sang a mournful song, composing verses on the spot. "With strength to uproot mountains, my spirit dominates the world. Fate is adverse, and Huai can no longer gallop. If Huai can no longer gallop, what can I do? Yuji, what will become of you?" He sang the refrain several times, and Yuji joined in with her own verses. Xiang Yu shed tears, and all his attendants wept, unable to lift their heads. Xiang Yu then mounted his horse, and more than 800 elite cavalry followed him. They broke through the siege southward under the cover of night and galloped away. The Han army discovered their escape and ordered Guan Ying, the cavalry general, to pursue them with 5,000 cavalrymen. When Xiang Yu crossed the Huai River, only over 100 of his cavalry could keep up. Reaching Yanling, Xiang Yu lost his way. He asked a farmer for directions, but the farmer deceived him. "Go left." Xiang Yu rode left and became mired in a large marsh. This delay allowed the Han army to catch up. Xiang Yu led his men eastward and reached Dongtianj, where only 28 cavalry remained. The pursuing Han cavalry numbered several thousand. Xiang Yu realized he could not escape, so he said to his men, "It has been 8 years since I raised my army. I have fought over 70 battles. Those who resisted me were defeated. Those I attacked submitted. I have never lost a battle, so I became overlord of the world. Yet now I am trapped here. This is heaven wanting me dead, not because I made mistakes in battle. Today we will fight to the end. I will give you a spectacular fight. I will break through the siege, kill enemy generals, and cut down their banners 3 victories in a row. Let you see it is heaven that dooms me, not my failures in combat." Xiang Yu divided his 28 cavalry into 4 groups, facing the 4 cart in all directions. The Han army surrounded them tight. Xiang Yu said to his men, "I will take an enemy general's head for you." He ordered the cavalry to charge outward in 4 directions, with a rendezvous at 3 locations east of the hill. Then Xiang Yu shouted loudly and charged forward. Wherever he went, Han soldiers fell in defeat, and he finally beheaded a Han general, a Marquis of Kai Kuan Yan. She was leading the pursuit. Xiang Yu glared and shouted at him. The Marquis and his horse were so terrified that they retreated several leagues. Xiang Yu and his cavalry regrouped at the 3 rendezvous points. Unsure of Xiang Yu's location, the Han army split into 3 units and surrounded them again. Xiang Yu charged once more, beheading a Han commandant and killing dozens to over 100 soldiers. When he gathered his cavalry, only 2 men had been lost. He asked his men, "How was that?" The cavalry prostrated themselves unreplied, just as your highness said. Xiang Yu then tried to cross the Wu River east. The Wu River pavilion chief had more devoted waited for him, saying, "Though Zhangdong is small, it has 1,000 li of land and several 100,000 people enough to establish a kingdom there. Please cross quickly, your highness. I have the only boat here. When the Han army arrives, they cannot cross." Xiang Yu laughed and said, "Heaven wants me dead, what good would crossing do? Besides, I crossed west with 8,000 Zhangdong youths, and now none have returned. Even if the elders of Zhangdong pity me and make me their king, how can I face them? Even if they say nothing, can I live with my own guilt?" He then said to the pavilion chief, "I know you are a man of integrity. I have ridden this horse for 5 years. Ha is unbeatable and once ran 1,000 li in a day. I cannot bear to kill it, I give it to you." He ordered his cavalry to dismount and fight on foot with short weapons. Xiang Yu alone killed several hundred Han soldiers, but he was wounded more than 10 times. Glancing back, he saw El Maang, a Han cavalry marshal, and said, "Are you not my old friend?" El Maang turned away and pointed to Xiang Yu, saying to Wan Yi, "This is Lord Xiang." Xiang Yu then said, "I heard the king of Han offers a reward of 1,000 jin of gold and the fief of 10,000 households for my head. I will grant you this fate." With that he slit his throat and died. Wang Yi cut off his head. Other cavalrymen rambled each other to seize Xiang Yu's body, and dozens were killed in the scramble. In the end, Yan Shi Marquis of Kaikwan, El Marang cavalry marshal, El Shen, and Yan Wu all imperial bodyguards each obtained a part of Xiang Yu's body. When the 5 parts were joined together, they formed a complete body. Thus, the king of Han divided the reward fief into 5 parts. El Marang was enfeoffed as Marquis of Zongshui, Wan Yi as Marquis of Dyn, Yan Shi as Marquis of Kaikwan, Yan Wu as Marquis of Wufeng, and El Shen as Marquis of Niyan. After Xiang Yu's death, all Chu territories surrendered to the king of Han except Lu County. The king of Han led his army intending to sack Lu County, but learning that the locals clung to righteousness and were willing to die to uphold their loyalty to their lord, he sent men to show Xiang Yu's head to the people of Lu. Only then did the elders of Lu surrender. Initially, King Huai of Chu had enfeoffed Xiang Ji as Duke of Lu, and since Lu was the last to surrender after his death, Xiang Yu was buried at Gucheng with the rights due to a duke. The king of Han mourned for him, shed tears, and then departed. The king of Han did not execute any of Xiang Yu's clan members. He enfeoffed Xiang Bo as Marquis of Xiyan. The Marquis of Pingdao and Marquis of Xuan Wu, all of the Xiang clan, were granted the surname Liu.